Hello Lison.
Hello.
Alors, let's check it out. Hop, hop là. Oops, I don't know why I have so many. 1 second. I think he did it multiple times. Hop là. Cool.
Picture it. Picture what? Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it. Picture what? Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. My favorite outfit was the glittery boots and my bumblebee tie. Bumblebee tie. Like the other stripes. My favorite outfit was the glittery boots and my bumblebee tie. Bumblebee tie. Like the other stripes. My favorite outfit was the glittery boots and my bumblebee tie. Bumblebee tie.
Il dit quoi? Elle dit, she says my favorite outfit is.
Was the glittery boots.
Glittery boots and
Ah,
bumblebee tights.
Was the glittery boots and my bumblebee tie. Bumblebee tie. Like the other stripes.
and after what did she say?
Il redit bumblebee tights.
No, but after she says back to.
Black and yellow stripes.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Picture it. Picture what? Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
Well, on me, I prefer this one. The only problem I have with this is
Mhm.
the length of the shot.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know how good you are, Lison, right now. But a 500 frame shot. Okay, so we're gonna go back to my little math. So you go 500 divide by 16, 31 days. So divide by 5. So that's 6 weeks. If you work, uh, if you work 8 hours per day for the next 6 weeks. I don't know how much time you have now. Right now, you're gonna work all day like that during the week. Do you know?
Yeah, I have no work,
Okay.
so.
Usually, just so you know, usually we get to shots about 200 frames, I would say,
Mhm.
during 6 weeks for people that are advanced. So right now, 550 seems double the amount. So voilà.
Mm.
I'm a little worried, but what can happen is maybe we end up doing only one shots by the end. Voilà. If it's a shot that long, it could be that. The second
Okay.
thing I wanted to talk about, so the first one is definitely better than the second one. I feel like
Mm.
in this one, it's missing a lot of the thought process. The thought process is you going away thinking about how he's going to kill him, you know?
Picture it.
Mm.
Like she could be like, picture it. And then she thinks about it, you know?
Picture what?
Yeah.
Well, the man.
No, she could like picture it. And he goes, picture what? And he goes, what the man? Then she comes back to him,
Watching your
Mm.
son.
to this,
I wonder how he'll do it.
and then here thought process.
Maybe.
I wonder how, like, your son, I wonder how I'll do it. Maybe, it's like going away. I think you do it, it's
Mm.
there,
Maybe something clever. Like an air.
but it needs more of that, maybe something clever like an and you can stay in the thought, while you
Mm.
say these things, you do not have to go out of the thoughts in these, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Sorry. Voilà, so it's important those thought process. In here, you have more of them,
Picture it. Picture what? Well, the man watching your son.
like
I
here.
wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face.
And then he comes back
Maybe something clever.
like this too.
Like an air bubble in the ivy.
So I like this one. To me, the only problem with it is it's a bit stationary.
Mm.
And with this kind of intensity, like
Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
maybe something clever, like a banana in the ivy, where she actually, to me, it feels like she enjoys. Like towards the end, it feels like enjoyment would be my subtext. So enjoyment meaning like she really likes, like
Mm.
to think about it, and I would love to feel that. And in enjoyment,
Like an air bubble in the ivy.
I think towards the end it could be like, oh, like in the ivy, where she really enjoyed it. Then it makes her feel crazy and actually liking what she was saying, and the fact that it goes further and further, it's like actually making her yeah, like enjoying that. What I think is what I was lacking towards the end, and it felt a little
Okay.
flat. But it's
Mm.
really on that last line to me. When you're here,
Maybe a pillow to the face.
here you're playing, you're toying already, like maybe a pillow with the face. So you're kind of going like, and then you want to focus and go maybe even this, or something like that. That it feels like coming forward, and yeah. So what I would play maybe
Okay.
from there another just an ending that we can even cut
Mm-hmm.
with it if you want, or if you want to redo, you can. But I would go on the same base as this, and I'm okay to do this long shot. I'm okay with the knife. Actually, I think it's a good context. It helps with kind of selling the fact that she's a crazy person who thinks about killing someone, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Voilà.
Okay.
What about the
Okay.
character you were thinking of using, Lison, on this?
Um, I I don't really know right now. I think maybe the Kayla Unlimited.
No,
The you know?
no.
Ok. Bon, bah pas ça.
The Kayla
Uh,
Unlimited is like the girl with the glasses.
yeah, but the young adult
Yeah,
version.
yeah, this girl, this one.
Yeah, but not this modeling.
Ah, okay. Is it better the modeling?
It's an elder modeling of her.
Like this?
Uh, no, it's in the Kyla
Ah,
rig,
okay,
but
so it's one of these guys.
mm, if you yeah,
No, no,
after
no, no, no.
non, 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 pas,
No, no,
pas
no,
cela.
no, 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 no.
Here, you see the green t-shirt.
This
You
one?
see? No, 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 no.
This one.
En bas. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Ouais, okay.
But maybe it's too young.
Well, maybe it's not, but even to me, it's not very appealing. She's not very.
Mm.
So if you want to use a rig like this, I would use Marsha to me. I think
Marsha? Okay.
Marsha is a really nice appealing rig. Her here.
Mm. Okay.
I think her
Yeah, I
she
was
she
thinking
does very good
of
stuff. By the way, all those
after.
shots are my students, and this one too. One of my students, the one prior, one of my. And now I have all the. This not. This is not. Aha. Um. So yeah, in the rig, I would say Marsha. Marsha is
Ok,
a good one if you
ça
want,
marche.
or Peggy is okay. Or you can use as well, if you want to use a rig outside, I would use the Artemis. I think Artemis is kind of cool as well for this kind of
Yeah,
stuff,
you don't have it.
for
Mm.
all these things. Okay. But you have
Okay.
Kayla.
Yeah, you have Kyla.
Ah, okay. Sorry. No, but I would pick Marsha 100%. Even with you right now, I feel like with your ref and you're very thin and tall, I
Mm.
would go for something similar because I think it's part of sort of your acting and the stuff, and that's why I was referring to to Artemis. Cool. I don't know. The first thing is, the dark things in there.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can select your character and you can smooth. Yeah, you press 3.
Ah,
So like that you don't have those.
okay.
For
Yeah.
this, okay, cool. It was my GPU override. Perfect.
Mm,
Awesomeness. Let's check it out.
okay.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Cool.
Picture it.
So there's nice stuff. There's stuff a bit too pushed, I feel, in terms of
Mm,
expressions, stuff like that. Also in terms of small things, but overall, I feel it's a very good first pass. Okay, I'm gonna go over what I
okay.
think could be tweaked to make it a bit better. Then I'm gonna go in the scene and maybe try to adjust the poses after that. Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing to think about in terms
There's
of a shot like this. So let's take this. I think this one is a nice pose. If you think of that, your kind of shoulder angle is
Mm-hmm.
slightly like this, and because of her model, you have this feeling here, and it doesn't really have that sensation of her being relaxed and being a
Mm,
bit
okay.
like there.
Mm,
So I think we can tweak this a little bit to create a bit more of an aspect of a shoulder kind of coming down and being slightly more relaxed in some way
mm,
because of that.
mm,
So having something like this in there, I think would help a little bit in creating that feeling of the shoulder, but still having a little bit of an angle if we can in this. Then in terms of your arm, where it is and this, it feels same thing a little far. I don't know how I'm gonna go in your scene, but I feel like this shouldn't have as much
mm.
kind of uh, space between. So we'll see how are your shoulder. Did you use the pose that I put into the library to start your shot?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, so we'll see from there how it is and what we can do about that to try to get something a tiny bit less, um, yeah, pushed in this. Okay, cool. Then in terms of the spine, etc., I think it's okay. I think it's cool. If I think of your neck angle, however, I feel like you're further, oops, sorry, this way a little bit.
Mm,
So I think would be like that. And so maybe the head as well here could be
okay.
slightly more like this.
picture it.
Alors, after for
There's
the hands. In terms of hands, um, I would love to get a little bit more of a straight line and trying to get elegance, so a tiny bit of elegant feel to it. So me, I would be slightly more turned, less like that, but a bit more like less like this, but more like this. So then we don't
Okay.
have as much of that feeling of seeing the palm fully, and maybe
Mm,
we'll create a nicer line like that, and maybe don't have the this here so much as it feels a little, maybe a tiny bit broken instead of
okay.
having a
Mm,
little bit more of a peel shape in there. I use a little bit of the same principle of the hand that I do for the face, where I use a lot of model sheets for that to help me in making it really nice shapes in there. If we keep on going in terms of
your son.
expressions there, I think that you're actually looking at this shapes that I was talking about and reproducing them, which is what you don't want to do.
mm,
Okay, so in this case, let's say your brows are somewhat like this. I would keep that and push them up,
okay.
but not necessarily changing to a very round shape like this that starts to make her feel. little weird in the expression there in here, for example, where you have a lot of this here coming back down. And I think when you're in these, you can keep it more up, actually, the middle into something slightly more like this than that. Do you see what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, of course.
In terms of your hand as well, it's cool, but I would like to try to do maybe something where, yes, those two could be a little more together, and then these two like that. Like that, you create a little bit of an appeal instead of having the four being
Mm.
exactly like this. You know, it's
Okay.
it's like simple little things like these to try to bring some appeal in there. Same in these. I like to have them a little more together, the fingers in those places if we can to kind of bridge the gap. And what we call it is the fork finger, you know, that you want to avoid. It's like feeling like a
Mm.
fork. So you want to avoid that, and for that we bring them together and we create this kind of things to avoid 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I wonder how he'll.
And here I feel like you're
I'm trying
not
to.
taking into consideration the angle of the neck. That feels a bit this way instead of coming towards us and being slightly more down in some way. Do you
Mm.
see what I mean? But it has
Mm-hmm.
that feeling of like going forward and addressing him forward there that's missing.
Do it.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the neck angle that I'm not
Mm.
feeling the same. And same in here, the brows, they start to feel a little bit. And in terms of the smile, same thing. I would go for a smile, but are not too high like this, but a bit more like out. You know what I
Mm.
was talking
Okay.
about
Yeah.
the fact that it's a
Yeah.
little bit like this. What you want to get is a bit more
Mm.
of that.
Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
Well,
Like
after
an air bubble in the ivy.
all the nodes that I was talking about are still a little relevant here. What I want to say is this is really cool. Okay, I feel like this is really nice. But if you feel of the 10% of stuff, how can we make that perfect? It's about the small things that I talked about. Okay, apart from
Mm.
that, I'm
Okay.
super happy about what you're presenting here. Another thing I want to suggest to you is putting the reference at the same size as your character. So you have a little bit more tangible things to look at exactly in terms of
Mm.
angles. So it becomes easier for you to see how much you move compared to your reference in there, especially
Okay.
on your blocking part. After we're going to get rid of it, but for now, I think might be a cool thing. I'm going to export those drawings just so you have them on your folder. There is going to be called output, okay, in the week
Mm-hmm.
2. Voilà. Alors, let's take a look. Cool. Alors, yeah, so I think in there, yeah, what you're missing is really the neck coming forward. If I think of you here, you have really this feeling of like coming towards him
Mm.
in this way. You know, I think that's going to be important for the feeling that you're after, that you have kind of in your reference there.
Okay. Yeah, I was a bit afraid to push it too much.
No, I think the neck is one thing that you're completely. I'm okay for you to push.
Mm.
What you don't want to push is this further than that. I think 11 is already quite a bit. Even if I think of you in your chair there, I think you're not as much as this. You see what I mean?
Mm.
In those kind of angles, I prefer using kind of neck than necessarily
Okay.
body and stuff to help. I think after the body is maybe a little less and maybe a little bit more back and like this. Tag. Let's check. In terms of the shoulders as well. So I'm just gonna use this one
Mm.
here. Yeah, you see they were quite lower in here. So and there I have a slant instead of a up position. Up. I'm still tempted to do a little less. I feel like this is also maybe a tiny bit high. For your arm here, I think it's going slightly more on the inside.
Mm.
And then your hand. Doing a little more of this. Well, you see how it's super tiny stuff.
Mm. Yeah, okay.
Like, in terms of the size of things, doesn't have to be much, but to me, like this, you'll see a bit better if you're in terms of angles and stuff. Do you see what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
It's important that you see both, huh? It's not that they are above each other, it's just that they are that you can see the difference. Cool. And me, I'm thinking about the general aspect of this. And you see here, you go a lot and then you come back a lot, but I feel like from there to there, it's a bit more straight. It doesn't have as
Mm.
much. So it is just thinking a little bit about that. Voilà.
Okay.
I think though your RX in here is and can be a tiny bit more like that and less. Up. One. Cool. And then we can push. You have some of it, yes, but maybe not a lot. Okay,
Okay.
small things,
Yeah.
but at the end, if you
Mm.
just check the shoulder, the elbow, the hands, and after the neck and stuff is not more appealing, but at least it's more yeah, I'm checking on the angles of the nose and the eyes right now. Well, voilà, perfect. Cool.
Okay. Mm.
For
Okay, okay.
the hand fingers, so for this, me, what I would suggest is having this one being slightly separated from the others. Not doing too much of the tip going, closed in there, I think. And then for these guys, I would try to keep them closer together if we can. Did you use this at all?
Yeah.
Me, I would use it this way more.
Okay.
Uh, I feel like to me in there it should be almost like playful or enjoying or something like this. So let's try to
Mm.
find how we can play with this. Maybe it's a bit big. Let's keep it like that. That's fine. Yeah, maybe it's a bit big now. Well. Okay, so that you see you have a bit of a nicer shape and you don't have this kind of thing that
Mm.
is very
Yeah,
flat
yeah,
to the
yeah.
camera as well in there. And then for the rest, for the adjustments, you can either use a little bit of the knife. So how did you parent your knife? With Maya parenting?
No, no, with your tool.
And how do you move the knife?
With the big controller, the blue one.
Yeah, that down there. There we go. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then you can just adjust that however you want to do it. Okay. Well, cool. Let's
Okay.
keep going for just a face expression a little bit. Like this one. Let's say this one I think is a very simple one. Just like this. So up. Uh, You don't have a face selection? No.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna create one quickly. Sorry. Up. What's her name? Do you know? Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
got
this
it. I
one.
got it. Right. Face all, and I want to just do my neutral here. Up. Okay, great. I got the head with it because I forgot that they put the head in there. Boom. Okay. So right now what you did is this.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab the eyes first and let's see, just put them there. Tack. Okay, perfect. So in terms of the expressions that I see in here. So I see the brows that are pretty high. So what I do is I grab my brows, that's the neutral. Yeah, that's the neutral. I can see it. And I just raise them. Okay, and I think when you put it at 3 in smooth, sorry, because it was not in smooth, then when you raise them, you get wrinkles. Do you see the wrinkles showing
Mm.
up there?
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
think those help in making this feel the same, but I wouldn't
Mm.
change that much than this. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you have the
Yeah.
character and you have the feeling of her doing what you do to me without necessarily getting that. Then for sure the eyes and the lids here are going more up. So they're a bit more like this. Whenever I push these and I start to move those too much because the eyes are up, I like to use the corners slightly of these and pushing them up too. Okay, so very slightly bit
Mm.
like this. Okay. I feel like yeah, it could be a little bit more. Let's check. I think in there your head as well, just to make this good, should be more like this, by the way. But right now I'm going to leave it like that, but I think it's part of that. And then in terms of the ring here, I feel like this really is going too far up. There is a big gap between the lids and stuff, so I'm just going to reduce that a little bit. I don't know why it was so far up in here, but well. Do you see what I mean though?
Mm. Mm.
And then for the mouse, so you open the jaw, as I can see it's open there. Voila. And I can see the corners are kind of staying together. For the corners together on her, the best control is to use the zip because for her, the zip is working good. Okay, it goes above all the controls. Remember what I was saying on Albert today? On her, if I have some movement in there and I use the zip, it still zips, which is
Mm.
awesome. So you can definitely use those zip to create the closing of the lips. And so in here, for that thing that you do, I would close a little bit like that. I think you're a little bit further this way, and you're also a little bit of the top here. I kind of raise. Well, to me, that's what I see in this expression there.
Okay.
But you see what I'm saying is like you're not far,
Yeah.
but you're also pushing things that are not
Yeah.
needed
Mm.
in these.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay.
And same in this. So for this one, I'm last thing, and then after I go to somebody else. Um, where is my picker? Eyes there, up. Let me select the face, tag, up, and I'm gonna go face like that. It's there, up. So if I'm in here and I just create voila, the same as you for the brows. Well, same thing. They're really up your brows.
Mm.
So I just grab those four and I just go like this, and this will create exactly what I'm after. I think you have crazy eyes. By crazy eyes, it means that we need to see white above your eyes there. So something like this. And then yes, the smile. So for the smile, I'm going to use the one that I created, but it's just so you see a little bit of the, damn it. I closed my picker up. that you see a little bit of what you can do for it. Up, up. Let's say something like this. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And so don't hesitate. I think my smile is a bit too open compared to yours right now, so it would be a little bit more closed and a little bit less pushed. You can have a little bit more zip maybe, on this, but yeah, something like this, I would say.
Okay.
Okay, but you see, you don't need to do a lot to it. I mean,
Mm.
right now I just show you the smile, but I did the same way the smile as I did in Albert. And I see that you're using some teeth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, never, ever, ever, ever. Like teeth are not
Okay.
moving. They're not, huh? Your teeth are fully in
Yeah,
your
I know.
skull. Like the more you can think of your face as a real face and stuff, and the better these will be, and the more they will look like what you're after and stuff. And like here, it could be just the fact that if you want to see a little bit more of the gums, you just push a little bit of these further higher, and then you'll get that feeling of the gums, etc., etc. But check on the angles, and then try to create things that are more in like an appeal and models in general, and that works in
Okay.
3D as well. Even if it's pushed, it's not about not pushing. It's just about trying to keep the character of who she is really. Okay.
Okay.
Any question, Lison, on this?
No, I don't think so.
So what you can do is you can keep going. No, you can do those changes and then send
Yeah.
me a version with those changes before you put any more in betweens. Okay?
Okay.
Are you fully on twos now?
No.
Okay,
4, 6.
cool.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
Well, it's very cool. Very, very, very cool. I think you can definitely go on twos and keep going, Lison. I think everything there is working very nice. It's fun. It's pushed. I have a few little things.
Picture what?
I feel like when you're in there, the brows doing this part here of them coming down like this, I'm not a big fan. But it's because I know the model and stuff, and I feel to me she works better when she is a tiny bit of that.
Okay.
So I think after you don't have it anymore, because even in there you see I have a little bit of it, I think. But maybe sometimes they're a little bit coming down like this, the tip of the brows. The second thing that I would say is towards the end, I feel like I wouldn't do as much this. It feels a bit too much like this, the smile. And I think to me in these, it should have a tiny bit more of that if we can.
Okay.
Where this is maybe not the apex, but the apex is more in here and in there. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very small, but that to me plays a little bit of a cool thing. And the other thing that I like in there, well, maybe we can have her crazy like this. That's cool.
Yeah, it was my point. I don't
It's
think
good.
she's crazy enough.
Yeah, she's crazy enough. I think to me, it's just the shape of the mouth, but the eyes makes her crazy enough. I think, and you don't need to overly push it. She doesn't need to be. I think if not, I feel like then, it's character versus something that is not tangible anymore. And me, I always want to keep, because we can keep pushing and pushing things, Lison, I think there is always a way where you can do more and more, but it's not necessarily um, what's going to give you the actual feeling is by staying close to what's something that feels natural and truthful and not
Okay.
not necessarily overly cartoony and stuff. Again, it depends of the style, it depends of the
Mm.
movie, it depends of all this, but there is something about to me not going too far that is important as well. Cool. Alors, she still has the old socks. It's cool. Oh yeah, and what I wanted to say, what I wanted to ask you is, do you know what's creating this?
No, I don't find it.
Uh, yeah, I'm sure it comes from this. Not even, dis donc. Why it's that. Nice. I think it's just the RX. I'm sure that creates this. Yeah, you see, it's the RX.
Uh,
Bon, bah, ouais. Let's leave it like that. But
Maybe at the
and
really end of the animation, I could change the.
we can do a sticky
Yeah.
or do a bit of skinning or
Mm.
something like that. But well, fuck. Okay, bon, that's not a big deal. Let's go for the brows and for the. I mean, it's something that I just saw, but it's not. The at the end the shot is cool, so it's not gonna be
Okay.
the problem. Yeah, it's there. So it's whenever there is. You see that shape that doesn't
Mm.
have a little bit of this. Gonna bring it back. So me, I would just do either something like this. Oh, that's a bit big. And also maybe slightly more in. Let's do not too much just so you just see the difference in the shape. Ouais, voilà.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to keep the structure of
Mm.
the mask a little bit. And like this from there to there, to me, I mean, you can keep it even there is good. You can keep it further if you want. Me, for some reason, I like when they're not too far from each other, I feel like this one is far that way and should be
Okay.
more in this kind of line there for the nose
Mm-hmm.
as well. I think that would help in this.
Yeah. Okay. Mm.
Tac, tac, tac. Here, I would reduce the amount of a ring there is above the pupil. So it would be something more above the lid. It would be something more like this than that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
This one was a little high. So in here, I would do something more like that too. You know, so that there is a bit of connection between the two of them.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can still keep that a little bit actually, if you want to get that roundness, but at least to get that. And then I would
Mm.
love again to have a tiny bit of a change like that, if we can.
Okay.
And also don't hesitate to reduce the ring. I feel like your ring is a little
Mm.
high in your animation in general. Where are you here? Up. I think that
Yeah, okay.
reducing the amount there could be cool. The only one where you might want is here. And this is what I was talking about. If you want to do small things, is just linking a little bit of the mask together. Okay? You see what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Cool. Tack. There, I feel like brows are disconnected. To
Mm.
me, if I look at this in your brows right now, I'd rather have something very, very simple like that. Oh, wait, I'm going to do it on the next frame. Tack. So to me here, they're a bit too, um, how do you say, um, asymmetrical.
Okay.
Tag. To me, I'd rather see instead of this having that and having them be connected and not
Mm.
so disconnected. Especially those two here is very rare where one is so high versus the other. I think in general they're gonna arrive about the same height.
Okay.
You see, it feels more connected, feels more.
Mm.
And then
Mhm.
after, if you want, you can do a little bit, but it has to be small and it has to
Yeah.
feel like
Okay.
they connect together. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So all this, then after you see from there to there, I see these two not being aligned.
Mm.
Okay. Here on these kind of mouse, I want you to be careful when you have the lips that are going very low in the smiles. I feel like in these kind of things,
Mm.
you always want to push.
Okay.
Or for something like this. If not, it starts to feel a little goofy. Uh, am I on your pose or no after? You see what I mean?
Mm.
Especially in
Mm.
here,
Mm.
makes her feel more like badass. Cool. All this is good, and then it's somewhere around there. So, for example, in here, it's nice. I like actually what you did, but for this kind of characters, um, well, let me show you. I think I'll try. Yes, for sure. So is this and then this down. This part here is what's gonna make those smile feel more crazy, is what's gonna make
Mm.
those
Yeah.
smiles feels like she smiles, but not the middle so much. And the other one I think is this is the is these two here that bring this feeling of like smiling more. And then there we want to push Another one that you can push as well might be those inside slightly. Usually the part that is more out is more the upper lip and then the lower lip and smiles. Something that I discovered not too long ago, actually.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I feel like that.
Mm.
If you want to close it, then you can just zip it a little bit like this. If you want to get the same feeling as what you're after, you see in yours. But you'll
Mm.
still have a better feeling
Yeah.
of the smile
Yeah.
then. Okay.
Okay.
You reduce the ring, especially in there. It's gonna make her feel even more crazy with less ring. You see,
Okay.
like that
Mm.
gets that feeling that
Mm.
her eyes are wider. And there, this is cool. And there, if you want to bring these guys up, that's gonna help with that craziness. And you can just do a little bit of this. Uh, Cool.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so here on that last one, and then I'm gonna leave you guys. Tag, tag, tag. Don't hesitate. I think it's okay to do smiles that are broad and pushed. I think it's completely okay. I wouldn't push. I wouldn't make it too much to one side or something like this. Let me redo it completely actually. Up, up, up. So there, tag, tag, tag. Uh, then these guys up. Like it's almost closed actually, this mouse that you're in at the end. Uh, the mouse should be going back. Voila, let's do a little bit more of this. It's funny how these guys they always feel a little bit too far out. Maybe something that I could have tweaked in the neutral. Cool. To me, in here, you don't have that feeling of ooh, ooh in your smile, And I think it is not the ooh, is more the you're showing
Yeah. Okay.
your
Yes.
actual
Mm.
lip because you're smiling like oh no. So me, I would play something more around those lines. And then let's check. What did you use to make that go out like that? You used the mouse, this one here? Maybe it was
Yes,
just
please.
this. Okay. And you did the rotation or
No, I didn't use the rotation.
to me, I wouldn't go so much like this, but actually
Mm.
keeping it more into what creates a smile. Did you move these guys in there?
A bit.
So you can push that, the crow's feet,
Okay.
to get that there. I think the lids here are as well, getting a bit more of that and maybe a little less of this. I think because of the smile, This could be a little bit higher as well. Um, not the one that I wanted. I wanted the lids. Yes, this one. And same, the brows I think could be a bit more intense. And these two being a bit more together. This one higher. Sure, and the ring lower. Back, I feel like this is not good. I don't know why. Maybe there are too many things moving, or I don't know, but it feels a little. Tack, and let's push this now. Tack. Up, and this too. Oh no, it's really on the outside, that you want to have the white just to make her crazy. It's like the outside of the eye. It's gonna get this. Okay?
Okay, yes. Yeah.
And you can push even the how big that is. If you want to
Mm.
really make it, I think it's about like how big should you go with this?
Yeah, okay.
Voila. But
Okay.
I would not go as far as what I just did, okay? Personally, but I still feel like the markers are these, even though what you did was great, Lison. Voilà. Think about that when you do this smile. And I think the first drawing that I did about the mouse is the main thing of this thing being a little lower, this being the one, and then coming back. That's double kind of thing there. Okay?
Okay, okay, thank you.
Awesome. You have any questions, Lison?
Yes, I just have one question. When she said your son, in the reference, I don't have the O shape. So I don't know if I need to push this or not.
Let's see.
Well, the man watching your son.
Yeah.
Watching your
Yeah. Son. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna and you can do it now. Me when so the question basically on this would be, should I put the lip sync shapes that are not in my reference in my blocking? Yes. Whenever you hear the sound, you should go for sa sa. So it's gonna be sa a n san san.
Mm.
It's not
Okay.
gonna be soon, huh? It's sa sa.
Mm.
So it's like between a a and a o. It's not a o. It's not a a. It's a sa. So it's like between really the A and the O. So it's like a O with kind of round shape in it. Sun, sun. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
I wonder how he'll do it.
cool. But very nice posing in general. The hands, the posture, everything is there. I actually I really like
Maybe.
this. I think it's
Mm.
cool that we kept it. It feels actually really cool. So
Okay.
voilà. Okay,
Okay. Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Anybody? Okay. Eh ben, what's up, guys? Thank you for your work. We will meet next week at the same time, and the following week I will be in vacation. Okay, but I will remind you guys of that next week. Meaning that we're gonna skip a week, and that's why we didn't skip this week, and that we met on Saturday. But well, thank you, everyone. Have a good end of your weekend. Thank you for being able to change the time for this, and we meet next week. Bye bye. See you all. Let's take a look.
You sharing audio? I don't know if we can hear it.
Hmm. Thank you, dude.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
Now you can hear it, right?
Mm.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna play it again. Sorry, guys.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
Well, it's very cool, Lison. I have a couple of things that I want to discuss with you, but it's really, really nice.
I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
Mm.
Do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. To the face.
Hello. I thought when looking at it, I felt lip sync was off and accents were late.
Mm.
Meaning, for example,
Like an air bubble in the ivy.
like right now we're in the E and you're in your V. If in your blocking you're already late, it means you're late.
Mm.
If I keep going and I go for
Yeah, if I cheat, yeah.
Pillow to the face.
you're in your F of the face, that is like 4 or 5 frames sooner.
Mm.
There. Let's take a look at this. I didn't check that. Sorry, I should have, but I have a lot of other stuff that I check at the beginning, which is poses. But your ref is late.
Yeah. Mm.
Your F here should be, so this frame 284 should be 278 instead of 284. So you're like 6 frames late.
Mm.
So what I would suggest is that you shift your animation by 6 frame and your reference by 6 frame, or you shift your audio by 6 frame later
Yeah,
or something like
okay.
this, but the one or the other. Like that,
Mm.
you're already going to be a lot closer to your reference, which is pretty synced with the audio, I think. Let me check
Mm.
prior to that, though.
Your son. I wonder
Well, here you're late too.
Picture what?
well, the man.
Yeah, I think you're late on everything. So like that, you're gonna be better. I think some parts, Lison, are later than others. I think some are 8 frames and some like here it's 4 frames. Let's
Okay.
check it out just in case, but so let's say it's M at 91. Where you're at 95. So that's 4 frames. That's what I was saying. Here you're 4 frame, later you're 8, and I'm pretty sure on this one, V is there. So it's 355, and I think is 346. And we're at 55.
Mm.
So here you're 10. Voila. Okay.
Ah ouais. Okay.
So I think there is parts where you can strip down 2
Mhm.
frames, and then you get on 4, etc. You should, but what I want for you is to sync your ref
Mm.
with your lip sync first. As you do that, do you know how to sync your ref? Actually, let's do it together. I think that will be a good thing for today. If not, apart from that, I don't have anything, Lison. Okay, I think it's really
Mm.
good. the face is cool, the expressions are nice, the subtext is there. I think is very fun and entertaining, and etc. etc. So I don't have any things really apart from let's go to Spline and let's do it. But this thing of timing is gonna bite you.
Yeah, I was feeling it.
Alors, okay, so for the reference, what you can do is you have the frame extension here, okay? The frame extension, you can definitely, you do break connection, and then you go key selected.
Okay.
Here you're at 430. I'm gonna put 430. Okay, and then you're gonna grab this and you're gonna make it linear. So like this, each frame, you're the same, right? Okay, so far
Okay.
so good. Okay. So in there, let's say first is you want to make it 4 frames sooner. So I think it's 4. Right now is right on there. I would do maybe 6. Let's check.
Watching your son.
To me, and it always worked better if you're ahead than after, for sure. Even there, you see you're ahead, and it works for me.
I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
Yeah, and so here I would say then
Pillow to the face.
and here I would remove maybe a few frames in there. So I would put a key here, and then I would go to the next one, and I would put a key too, but I would then make it like 5 frames later. So where were we? 310. So right now I'm 318. So that we were like saying maybe 314. And so right now I skip some frames, but I think I'm gonna be voila. So like that you're right on there for clever. Okay?
Okay.
And what you can do if not is same, you can do here it's a little too soon the watching. So and maybe you could be at there and then there and then until where? And here we're good. So there at 162 we're good. Okay. And so voila, I would put a key there and there. And let's say right now on here you're 2 frames sooner. So I'm just gonna do 2 frames. So we're at 107. I'm gonna go to 105, and you want to make it linear, by the way, on everything. Voila. Voila. Right now you're there, right there. And then after, obviously here you have this little acceleration, but you shouldn't take it into consideration. It's mainly for your little bit of lip sync and stuff. And voila. And I think right now with this,
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
and then you shift your animation. Maybe you can do it at the same time if you want. I think it's not by a lot that you need to do it, but voila.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, and so for the animation, you just want to make it really for now simple. You grab face and body, you know everything, and whenever So first is by 6 frames. I shifted by 6 frames. So what you can do is you grab everything and you shift
Yeah.
by
Okay.
6. That's the first thing that you want to do. So you're going to delete some of it. Like that, you're back to almost the same first, and then actually it might be 5 since I shifted by 6. Not sure. Wait. So slow.
Mm.
Well. Yeah, I'm not I didn't select the knife, huh? I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah. It's okay.
But the rest is synced. And then for those frames here between, so where was it? Was there. Then it would be here that I remove those extras. So between all of this, I would just make it so that something like this, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Done. Voila. Okay, approximately. And here you should be a lot more in sync. Voilà, Lison. Est-ce
Okay.
que tu as des questions? Do you have questions on this?
Oui.
Tell me.
I just have question with the fingers. You know, because I move my fingers a lot, but I don't feel like the knife and the fingers are really connected in my animation.
Is something that you will see in spline for me in blocking. For me in blocking, what's important in this Lison is but I agree with you, is here, right? Is here that it doesn't feel, you know, what the problem is it's rotating between your knife and your finger, like between your index and your thumb is this that we should feel. It's something that you can do in spline, or if you want to make it a bit more now, what you want to make sure is that when you do this, that the thumb feels like it goes in the back and that this one comes back up.
Okay.
You know, I think it has to be both that are going against each other to create that feeling right now that you don't have. Apart from that, I think for the rest is cool, huh? All the rest there, all this is cool. And yeah, maybe in there. But is it very important that the knives moves and stuff, etc.? We'll see. To me, the general thing that I want out of my blocking on there is to have a feeling of her playing with it and making it turn. And if I look closely, I don't. But if I look at the general intent and subtext of things, you know, I would say maybe in here I would make sure that yes, I make it to the tip, you know, instead of being down there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But there, I think this is cool. You know, all this is cool, is enough, more than enough.
Okay.
All this is cool, all this is good, and then here, yeah, it feels like it's just not this one. Yeah, and the rest to me is okay for the hand and stuff. It's really just this and this and this part around here that you wanna fix. For the blocking, if I was showing the blocking like this on Arcane, I would fix those a little bit. Just the thumb and this, just to make it clear, and the way that she holds after.
Okay.
But I'm really happy about the way that you approach the rig, the way that you approach the face. And I don't know if you can feel it, but it feels very nice, very natural, very real, and also appealing. Appealing is the term that I would say on this, where last week it was lacking in some appeal and some stuff by pushing stuff a bit too far compared to the reference and not necessarily thinking of the general character and the rigging of it and what we can do with that. So I think you completely succeeded in what we discussed last week on all that.
Okay. Merci.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the IV. Picture it.
Okay. Alors,
Picture it.
Hmm.
Picture it.
okay. Alors, let's talk about those 43 frames. What are you wanting to do in there, Lison?
What do you mean by
What's your next step?
that? I need to work more on every part.
What would you do?
I think I need to have more overshoot and stuff.
Okay. So, yeah, to me, right now, I see a head doing this. You know, if I think of the general, what is the motion here? And what you want is like, picture it, right? That's what you want the audience to understand. That is the kind of secondary action. When I talk today about those secondary action, what they are, and they need to be very clear for you when you start to do your polish. Right now, I feel like you're looking at your reference and you're trying to match a reference one to one. But when you're in your polish stage, it's not about this anymore. It's about making sure that the audience can understand what is your secondary action behind what you're doing, which in this case is, yes, the knife, but mainly the head going like, picture it, picture it. And I think there's a lot of things in there, and it should impact the body, it should impact these kind of things, the breathing, etc., etc. Right now, it feels kind of very disconnected in there. And I think that's throughout. Okay, if I look at the entirety of the shots, is the same. So you have 400 frames like these where you have to go and connect and make sure that you add more arcs and make sure that you animate throughout this thing. So right now, to me, this is the biggest work. And with a 400 frame shot, to me, it was going great. But now I see that when you're here and you're stuck, there's a lot of work that's coming your way, and that's going to be maybe a lot of time before we get to something that feels round, animated, etc. Even in there, when you go, it's like washing a man, washing a man, you know. And right now you just go washing a man, washing a man. You know, there's none of those, as you say, like antic, breakdown, arcs, settle, overlaps, and all these animation principles in there. So to me, now at this stage, what I do when I start to spline, because this is not about polish yet, it's really about uh, splining, and it's about making sure that those secondary action or the movement that you want the audience to see is clear.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it.
J'ai pas non plus de temps réel ou quoi? Ça veut dire que c'est ma machine.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Picture it.
Bon, it's not real time, but it should be okay.
Picture it. Picture it.
Okay. Cool. So let's start first with your body. So did you move anything in your body there? TX. Okay, no TX. After, what did you move?
Picture it.
Nothing. Okay. Up. Where is the body? Good. Perfect. Okay.
Picture it. Picture it.
I feel in there, there's this kind of motion of forward, like picture it. So I'm going to just maybe do a little bit of that first with my body rotation. So it will be maybe an RX and RZ. going this way and kind of leaning that way to kind of push for a little bit of that maybe movement there. And then maybe coming back somewhere around here.
Picture it. Picture it.
Okay. Maybe staying a little bit longer there.
Picture it. Picture it.
Oh no.
Picture it.
Then for this guy here, you're in FK. I don't think being in FK here is going to work. I'm gonna want to put it into an IK here, just so that it follows at least some of that. Just right now is going to be a bit tricky for it, because I think that to do the parenting with the parent, there might be some issues with the hand. Did you go into the file and adjust the hand with the ZV parent in there by any chance, Lisa, or no?
Not on this one.
Okay. For now, I'm just going to do only that. Tack, tack, and tack.
Picture it.
But like this, you see, I think it will be easier for your elbow to maybe stay in the back. So for the hand and the parenting, are you moving this? No. Are you moving this?
No, the blue, yeah, this one.
Okay. Okay. So okay. We're gonna try. I'm not sure it will work, but we'll try. I'm not sure this worked just because there is some issues with those characters when you use those the ZV parent. So maybe it won't work. If that's the case, I'll have other options, but it's not going to be as easy. Not bad. But okay, and then it's what is creating? It's because it's rotating the knife. I shouldn't have put it in rotation, but only in translation. What you can do though is you can select that, change the pivot, but I would just maybe try to do it only in translation and see if that can help. It's D to place the pivot, then you press E again, and there you go. Up, up. As for this, maybe you can go a little bit. Well, it's not perfect, but path. And then what you do is you grab this, and it's from which moment? It's from here. So from here to here, and from here to here. It's not perfect at all. Yeah, I would do it only in translation if I'm honest. So let's do it again. So select this, up, just create parent groups, translation, create parent groups, translation, up. Okay. Up, file, reference editor, up, reload. Hopefully this will work. If not, good luck. Yes. Much better. Voilà.
Picture it.
Okay, and then from there, what you can do, I think, is when you go forward with this one, you can just stay maybe a little bit back like this. It's weird. It's weird that this changes that. I don't understand why, but okay. Up, up.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
Or you see what I mean? A little bit of like movement in
Yeah.
there.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
All right, and so in the same thing, I would start with the head, looking at the general movement. So what you do is you go out, you come there, and then you lock. To me, I would keep going there longer. Do you have some Z? Yes, you have some Z2 in here. I would kind of carry on with it. I would make nice he's in and he's out. Then it would come back, but maybe not as fast.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
I think in there, it could go a little bit past. Let's just go for our Y for now. Yeah, it's missing some Z.
Picture it. Picture it.
So this one now is too much. So here I would just come back, but not as much. Same with this.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
I think it could carry on actually. So go for a little bit more and a little bit more, and then coming back softer.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
And I'm gonna think about my RX. I want to go like a P. P, you know what Tim was asking about the E, R, and the P and stuff is something that I would put in there to push a little bit. So here you have this P movement that maybe you could go, you know, a little bit down at the beginning, like an antic. So here is like the each. I think here it could go back down. I think here, as you come back, you can have this kind of nice arc in your head. And keep always thinking about the 3-axis and always keeping some kind of movement in there. Kind of act as nice arcs and curves.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
Well, now it's a bit big, these 3 here. You know, if you think about it. So what you can do after is grab and you reduce. For that last one here.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
Then we have this kind of breathing that I can hear in there. The so it feels like an exhale. So I would go, I think in there maybe she could be, you know, a little bit more up towards the beginning.
Picture it.
And that's the exhale that you want to get. And maybe we can do it in 2 times. So she goes picture it. So it goes down a little bit and then goes fast down for the it. And then here she would go back into the breathing up.
Picture it. Picture it.
Then you can reduce that amount. Here towards the end, it's a bit big.
Picture it. 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 Picture it.
And you can play with, you know, when is your apex down, etc. Just to check.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
And I think because of the I'm expecting the jaw to open in there. You know, and to stay a little bit in that kind of opening thing.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
And maybe it doesn't need to close like that here. It can stay.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
You see what I mean, Nizon? This is not
Mm.
in your reference. It will never be in your reference. I mean, it can, but you have a whole work on this arc of the head, breathing, hands, general body movement, trying to link a little bit with your intents. Another one as well that I forgot is the linking of this DRY of your chest. So in this case, you see what your head does here of like
Picture it.
it goes like this. In general, I tend to copy a little bit of that. So here in your antique, I would do a little antique this way, and then it goes that way. And then it comes back somewhere there. Then it goes back again, small.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
To me, that's the first thing. After, obviously, there's going to be the same on the brows, same on the eyes, same on the lip sync, and a lot of these things. So that's why a 400 frame shot takes a lot of time. Because yes, getting your poses, getting your all this kind of stuff from the reference is key to success as you have a very good base, but you need to go in there and kind of put a little bit of life in all those things and those connections. I didn't touch at the neck, but the neck is part of it too.
Mm. Yeah, okay.
Same for this arm. I would say that this arm, when she goes in there,
Picture it.
there, it feels like it comes back up, but I think in there, I would keep it, going in like that, which each time that I do that does something in there, which I'm not sure onto why. But with all the rest, it doesn't. Yeah, it does a bit. But
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
and same, the shoulders in there are going to be very, very important. So I think in there is the moment where I want them to act. So I just use the RZ. Well, I keep it going down for a little bit, then coming back up.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
And even there, maybe the P of picture could have a little antic.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
It's giving life and
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
I still feel like this could be a little bit more pushed there.
How close is this
Picture
to
it.
something you would do
Picture
in
it.
Arcane?
Picture it.
Very close, actually. There, I would still do that on Arcane.
This feels like an
Picture it.
Arcane kind of like
Picture it.
scene
Picture
line.
it. Picture it.
Yeah, I agree.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
I think for the breathing, there is also still a little bit
Picture
of neck here that's missing of that. of this kind of forward.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
It's a little sharp, so I'm going to unsharpen it a tiny bit.
Picture it. Picture it.
And there, I think when she goes, I would do some neck, sternomycloid, whatever it's called. There, up, a little bit of that. Bring some life. And even there, in the E.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture
You can
it.
see the life in the neck there that I added.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture
Nice,
it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
Voilà.
And for the facial?
For the
What?
face, we'll see after. Now, if you can do the 400 frame of the body like this, then after we see the face same way. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In 1 week, yeah.
No, but Lison, you would be done. You won't be done in 1 week. Okay,
Yeah.
don't worry. Okay, it's gonna take you more time. It's especially when you're not sure what to do. Me, what I would always recommend, where this all started, is try to understand your secondary action, which is picture it, picture it. Once you know that, everything connects towards this. So I started with the body leaning in there, the head doing the movement, and then it's connecting the rest, the breathing, etc., etc. I think if you think of it this way, it helps.
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face.
Okay, you didn't do after, huh?
No, after 139.
Well, something like this, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool, cool. Okay, alors, it's cool, a lot better. Definitely what you need to do. There is part where I think there's still things that we could tweak, but it's definitely on the right track. To me, this thing, now you should do it through your whole shot, for sure. And we're also going to discuss the types of things that you can do on this first part, okay?
Okay.
Picture it.
Alors,
Picture it.
for me in this, if I think of the movement and the motion, I feel like she should stay in the picture it and come back in that breathing. But right now it feels like she goes picture it, and it's already coming back, so it's not really having the purpose of picture it. Just what I mean of that forward movement.
Picture it.
So I would just tweak that in the general feeling and staying in it, and when she comes back, maybe settling a little bit in the pose forward.
Picture it. Picture it.
You know, for a little bit, then you go and you come back at the moment of this.
Picture what?
All right. Then after I have this feeling from there to there.
Picture what? Picture what?
That it was moving a little bit too much.
Picture what? Picture what? Picture what?
And I feel like maybe I would reduce, keep her more stable, more in the pose in that moment. Maybe by delaying the picture it and coming back, maybe it will be okay. But
Picture it.
Picture what?
But I feel it's the RX of the head and the shoulder and the breathing that kind of all happen at once and make this motion that feels a little bit too much.
Picture it.
Picture what?
And me
Picture what?
in there, is like, I think think about the intent that you want to push in this moment. So she goes, picture it. It's like, I think is like the pleasure or the feeling about it that should make her feel good. And I think in this moment you can tone down the motion and think about like, like a little smile, a little
Mm.
amplitude in the eyes, a little craziness coming, small, but so that it doesn't have necessarily movement in there, but we focus on the face.
Okay.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, so I would reduce this and do something, yeah, like the breathing, but on the spot, a bit smaller and with a little bit of like crazy coming up. Okay.
Okay.
Watching your...
Let's see after.
Well, the man. Watching your... Well, the man.
To me,
Well, the man.
in there, she feels a little like scared and sad and stuff. She's like, matter of fact.
Mm.
And I think I would stay in this high brows. I think it's
Okay.
mainly the brows that makes me feel this way.
Mm.
Well, the man. Watching your...
But the fact that they come, well, the man, I feel it feels like pain or something like this. That's really not necessary in this
Well, the
moment.
man.
Okay.
Watching your... Well, the man. Watching your... Well, the man.
After, I feel
Well, the
shoulder
man.
come down and slow and soft after is not needed. Could be, well, the man. It's more of like go and come back. Pop, sharp. Well, the man. I
Mm.
think
The man.
where you arrive in this.
The man. The man.
But you see, you have this instead of, well, the
Mm.
man. And you sharpen and you stay in the pose and you're crazy and you stay in this like even if your eyes are like that but the brows up, but it's kind of staying in the pose and not necessarily having movement is important. And to be able to sell that, it needs to have a sharp recoil in some way, instead of
Mm.
well the man and there is nothing, but if you go the man and there is these ding ding of things, I think it will make it feel okay and you can stay in the pose and then play with the face a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Watching your... Well, the man.
But I think the
Well,
movement,
the man. Well, the man. Well, the man. Well, the man.
it's great. Okay, this is good. It's just the way you stop into that pose and the fact of the brows. Okay.
Watching your... Well, the man. Watching your son.
And there you stopped. I can see it goes.
Yeah.
Watching your son.
Okay. Yeah, I think somewhere there, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's the.
Watching your son. Well, the man. Watching your son.
I think for this it's cool. I feel a little bit of a bubble head sometimes. I have this say for this where nothing move but the RX of the head.
Watching your son.
And I think in this,
Watching your son. Watching your son. Watching your son.
watching your son, watching your son, watching your son. Maybe there
Okay.
could be something in the body or just to go a little bit with it so it doesn't feel just that movement. Voila. Easy.
Yes.
Picture it.
But this is the way it is. Huh? There is
Yeah.
no shortcut for this. There is no secret recipe or any of these. It's just time and effort and pain. Welcome to animation. No, but it's true. It's something that is very disregarded. It's always put as a very fun job. It's a very fun job, don't get me wrong, but it's also a lot of investment, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you're tired and you have to go to it and you have to keep going and voilà. And I feel people take when they're in production and stuff have a lot of emotions and having hard times and as a supervisor you have to help them and nurture them and tell them that they're going to be okay and that we need to but it doesn't seem like it, but it's hard, guys. It's very hard, guaranteed. You put a lot of love into any of these, and no matter how hard you try, you will always get notes and always gets these kind of things. And
Yeah.
even more than this, you want to create good, you want to do good, so you invest a lot of love, energy, effort, and all those when you get like depending from who, but sometimes there's directly like, yeah, it's cool, but well, or you're like, well, dude, I spend fucking 2 weeks of my life, 8 hours a day, and you're like, well, I don't know, you'll see. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's take a look a little bit in the scene.
Picture it.
But what you can do for this. Yeah, I feel like in all this, you see it comes back maybe a bit soon. But it's mainly the body again, if you think of, that main control that drives is everything. And you can have, this kind of thing where it just grows. It's been a long time. Sorry, I need to activate my animbot. It's when I opened Maya 2024, I think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But I opened it yesterday.
Picture it.
Bit harsh. Eesh.
Picture it.
Okay. Here. Maybe not this one, but maybe this one. One that is a little bit longer than the other. Okay.
Picture it.
Here you can see how it stops very abruptly. So it hits a wall. So you want to make sure that it keeps on growing and moving.
Picture what?
And then you can keep that.
Picture what?
Right.
Picture what?
Well, already just adding that
Picture
two
what?
with the other one starts to make it feel like it connects and just finishes the movement
Picture.
in the same way.
Picture it.
Picture.
I feel
Picture it.
the breathing and stuff should feel that. So to me at the beginning, I would say it's actually up. And then it comes down to maybe somewhere there. It's here, sorry. It's there. I think I can hear it. And then there again, you see that's the big one. So I don't know if maybe the shoulders should drive more or something like this. I'm just trying to show you a little bit of the of how the breathing could be acting there.
Picture it.
Yeah, it's too sharp now, a lot too sharp.
Picture it. Picture it.
But you can see how it needs to have that impact.
Picture it.
Okay.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
And I think after the drop there, I would play a little bit of the, the elbow reacting. Where is the elbow of this? Do you know? Oh, it's an IK. It's an IK. Damn it. That's why it's very static. Maybe at some point would be good to maybe switch both arms compared to the knife. Maybe not. I don't know. Here, what would be good is to have a feeling
Okay. Mm.
of this happening, you know, where it kind of gets inside. Let's see if it works or if it's gonna break everything.
Straight.
Yeah, no, it's a bit sharp. And same with this one, I would just try to have a little bit of an in like this.
Mm.
Straight.
Well, after it shouldn't come back up, but and when you do this, it means that yes, the hand you know you would do is this. It's going to be a long process on this, but it's going to need to have, you know,
So, I have a locator to
as this
do
one.
what you're doing. No,
I
no,
don't know,
it's
locator. Okay.
yeah.
Where are they? Which one? This one?
It's gonna be the je pense que c'est le A. Sinon, dans l'outliner, tu peux ou dans, je l'ai mis en 7 il y est.
Il est là, c'est ça.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Okay. Right, yeah, so here, up. Like that, when the elbow goes down,
Mm.
you kind of connect together. I feel like here your elbow is a little bit too far out still. I think it's cool if you want to keep, you know, a little bit of feminine feel to that.
Mhm.
Straight.
And even there, I would
Straight.
maybe now it's a little far in here.
Straight. Straight.
Yeah, I think there it should be further down. It's a shame that you don't have a twist because you're gonna have to do a lot of this the whole
Mm.
time whenever you change. And
Straight.
it could become tricky, you know.
Straight.
Picture what?
But yeah, I would want to be careful a little bit with that.
Mm. Ok.
Straight.
Picture what?
So yeah, and there you reduce that RX that just keeps on going up
Mm.
there, like so this one you just and actually I think you can even go, you know, a little bit more like this in this kind of crazy thing that I was talking about. You know, of like staying a little bit down.
Picture what?
Yeah,
Well,
it's
the
a bit
man
big.
watching your son. Straight.
Picture what? Picture what? Picture what?
And here
Well, the
when
man.
she does this, the RYRZ of the head, it locks a little bit sharp. And I think when you do this, you want to keep going, you know, further, further, a little bit together, but and then come back into somewhere here. Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
What?
Well, the man.
Actually, even there, I wouldn't come back. I would continue slightly of this. I think there maybe the Z could readjust, and same with the neck. I think in there the Z could readjust a little bit after. You see what I mean, Lisa?
Mhm. Oui, oui. Ok.
Voilà.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
Like that you'll have, man. Think about adding a little bit of these things. Mine is a bit far right now, but like that you get the feeling of the leading and
Ok. Mm.
Des questions on any of this?
No, no,
No.
it
Like keep
seems
going.
clear. Mm.
Keep keep going. And we check that next week. But it's good. It's looking good. Very good.
Okay.
All right. Lison, let's take a look.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Picture it.
Picture
It's
what?
cool.
Well, the man. Picture it.
Picture what?
I'm almost feeling it moves too much for my taste. Um, it's the same, but 10% less. I don't know.
Okay.
Is it bad like this? No, I think it's completely okay. But I'm having a feeling that sometimes it just move for the sake of moving and arcs for the sake of arcs,
Mm.
and not necessarily for adding some purposes to the acting. And I'm gonna take it just in this example,
Picture it.
the fact that she comes back, close
Picture
the
what?
mouse, and does this again. The
Picture. Picture what?
makes her a little bit too active, and I think she is picture it. Maybe she shouldn't close the mouse. Maybe she could keep it open or something like that. Maybe I'm reacting to that, but it's small things
Picture it.
like,
Picture what?
and from here
Picture
as
what?
she stays and she
Picture
does
what?
all this, I think it's hard to know what should I be looking at. I see the head moving, I see the hand moving, and so sometimes maybe you can reduce the amount of overshoot, anticipation, arcs that I have you put in there. It has to be
Mhm.
about balance and making sure that you don't put them necessarily all the time. To me, it was feeling too simple and too straight before, but right now it feels too overlappy and
Okay.
arced and things. It's a matter of trying to make sure that your shot doesn't feel like it's constantly moving for the sake of
Mm.
having some types of stuff. And I feel a little bit this way
Picture what?
here. To me, I think in there,
Picture it.
the hand, this, for example, sorry, I'm going to take off the sound. You see that this up, down in the hand
Mhm.
is a bit too big and too broad, for example. I think as she stops here and she comes back, then it should be mainly maybe the knife that you want to see. It's like what do you make sure that the audience see and react to? And right now I'm having a little bit of a hard time in those 100 frames. I think the beginning, this is really cool, but same, maybe the hand and this movement there of the hand and stuff should be reduced by 40, 50, 60%. It's cool to have a
Okay.
little bit
Mm.
so it doesn't feel dead, but right now it takes over what really is the important thing. And the important thing is like picture it.
Mm.
Is this kind of leaning and stuff. So make sure that this is what you focus on when you do these and not necessarily everything like this. All right, let's keep going. To me, I prefer this, where the purpose is the fingers coming back, the look, and then the movement. In the movement, I have a little bit of a feeling like the head stops in here to go to that. And I think it could be a little bit simpler and with the not necessarily stopping in the middle and getting into this pose here a little longer and a little sooner. To me, let's think about poses where you are and you stay in. So here is you go to this one, you stay in this one a little bit. Then you come back to this pose. This pose you stay in. When you stay in, look how much movement there is. Do you see what I mean? To me, all this should be reduced by 50, 60%. You can still keep a little bit of the movement, but like say try to reduce. Then you get into this pose, into this, and I feel like here the movement of the head that I had you do is cool, but is a little late and alone there, you see? So I think you can arrive to this sooner. Once you're there into this, I feel this is much better. You see, it doesn't have the feeling of keeping on moving. It's a little bit simpler and it feels great. So I feel like really from this until this is good. And then after here it locks, and then we go back to the same problem of, let's go, keep going. Voila. To me, what I would say is this is your start pose, okay? So you're here, you go into the down to get into this pose here. Okay, so let's say this is the end pose. This is your beginning pose, okay? This is your down. And look between the down and where you arrive, how much stuff there is going. Is all this stuff. Do you see that? All this? To me, I think from there you can go a lot simpler into this, you know, and you just go and you stop, but not necessarily having all these things. It feels a little too complicated. And then you didn't finish this, right?
No,
Well, you just finished 240
yeah.
something, yeah.
But I don't really
And
like
even
the
in the
end.
maybe, you know, it feels like you go for a slow antique and then a fast there, and then you slow down in there instead of maybe. I think to me, I would stay longer in there and not as long in this long antique here.
Okay.
Again, to me, this is good. This has enough movement to me and feels not this, yeah, not this, yeah, there. From there on, yeah, there on this tag, tag. All this is cool. Okay, I feel it's simpler and it works great and it has the arcs and it has those things. What I'm a bit less about this one here, that moves a bit too much. The head here, RZ, that moves a bit too much. When she arrives there and the pose goes up and down, it feels a little complicated, even in the arms, and maybe simplifying that a little bit. And then in this movement there, I think is the way that she stops maybe could be slightly more follow through. I mean, keeping on going the same as what it was starting, which is kind of fast and coming back, instead of maybe fast and then slowing down and keeping this kind of floaty feeling a little bit.
Picture it.
Picture what?
So let me try to see what we can do and see if it helps in any way or not, okay? Where is it? Time slider, active, tuck, 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 tuck. Is it camera one or camera
The
render?
man.
Camera
Picture
one.
it.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
Picture what? Picture what?
Voila. So let me check, but I feel like, for example, yeah, your body, you're coming back in Z, but the coming back into this place. So let me just do it here. Sorry, man, it's not gonna be nice. Okay, wrong one. Okay. Up. What is creating this? Maybe it's both of these guys. No. Let me see in here. Yeah. I think it's this. Yeah, because you're starting to create a lot of like overlaps, but you don't arrive in the same time, so it might create this kind of
Mm.
little bit
Okay.
of things that makes it feel like you see things are a little harsh. So me in there, for example, I would continue with the Z slightly longer there. Even if after you want to come back to this, you can, but it should be a lot smaller, I would say. And like that,
Great.
Picture what?
you see it moves, but
Picture.
it's retaining. It doesn't have
Mm.
this extra things. And that's what I was saying about this. It moves, but it's retaining, you know, and I feel it feels nice
Mm.
because of
Okay.
that.
Picture what?
And there, yeah, I would just reduce the amount of movement in the arms. It's good that you did some in the arms and that you're pushing these because it's important that you have a little bit of movement, but I would reduce overall of how much does it do really.
Picture it.
Yeah, even there, that's a lot.
Mm.
As I was saying, up.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Picture it.
Picture what?
How do you move the hand? Is it with this?
With the locator.
Ah, yes, true. That's the one I didn't select. That still is big,
Mm.
right? Like something is not going down.
Picture it.
Yeah, and same with the elbow. I know I said all this last week, huh? So I'm happy you're doing these, but they're
Yeah, I was feeling it was too much, so
it's a bit too much.
was not sure.
Picture it. Picture it.
Well,
Picture
you
what?
see, so it feels
Picture it.
connected and stuff, but we're
Picture
still
what?
focusing
Mm.
on what's important there. Okay, if it
Okay.
doesn't move, it's not good, but if it moves too much, then it takes all the attentions to
Mm.
those singular things there.
Well, the man. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
Yeah, even now I feel like just
Picture
removing
it.
those.
Picture what?
You see those kind of
Picture what?
movement, and even there in the head,
Picture what?
maybe it's going down and up in there.
Mm.
So I don't know what's creating that, but I would maybe simplify that from there to there. You see, it feels like it's moving a lot and a bit
Mm.
to the side and stuff. So maybe
Picture what?
to me, it's all this that feels a little broad. I'm gonna reduce by 50%.
Picture what?
Voila. To me, it's too much. You did good,
Picture
Lison.
it.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
But like that, now I focus and I see what I need
Mm.
to see, and I, voila. So good, perfect stuff, just too big. Right now,
Okay.
I just blend
Yeah.
to neighbor. I didn't change any of those stuff
Mm.
apart from the body that was doing this kind of little thing
Mm.
with the RZ. To me, the more that you blend to neighbor and the more that you reduce what you have, you should be getting what we're
Okay.
after. Okay? But it's really
Mm.
nice. Again, really nice stuff there.
Okay. Cool.
Est-ce, you have, est-ce que tu as des questions?
We just have one question. When
Mhm.
she opened the eyes, I've got the white a white thing, and it's not beautiful, and I can't move the pupil.
What do you mean the white thing?
Bah, il y a le blanc de l'œil en fait, et j'arrive pas à mettre la pupille, enfin de baisser la pupille. Enfin, je trouve ça pas joli quand elle ouvre
Ici,
l'œil.
là?
Non, non, c'est vraiment pendant les blinks.
Ah, quand elle blink?
Ouais. Alors plutôt vers la fin. Genre là, quand elle rouvre, j'ai un blanc qui est pas joli.
Ça, là?
Non, encore un peu.
Ah,
Là.
ça? Ouais,
Ouais.
ouais, ouais, carrément. Ok, ça c'est sûr. T'as quoi d'autre? Ici, là? Ouais, ok.
Ouais.
Okay. So yeah, Dizon was saying like she has some white on her lids when she opens up her eyes, and it's not really beautiful. And I agree with that. And so what did we do when we did the face animation in the blinks? What do we do to help with this?
I tried to lower
Ouais,
the controller of the eyes,
ouais.
but it doesn't really work.
So let's take a look. Okay.
Mm.
So you try with these guys,
Yep.
with these two things, and it doesn't work.
No, because it moves the leads and
Ah, yeah, but that for sure. That's why you have to do it uh,
so
as
you have to
you
counter anime.
ouais,
Okay,
always. It's
okay.
the same on Albert when I do the demo.
Mhm.
It's you have to counter animate. Voilà,
Okay, okay.
beauty. But it shouldn't create much problems normally, I think, if you're
Mm.
well, here I didn't put it on the key, so but I think if you do this, and when you do those blinks, even there, you should have this way, and then that
Mm.
I will be able to do it, and that here.
Okay.
And I
Mm.
think if you
Okay,
do
okay.
this and this with your blinks, then when you go from there to there, you have this
Mm.
beautiful opening.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
good. Up, up. Voilà. And to me, yeah, then after that, you should be all
Mm.
good. Okay,
Okay. Mm.
cool. You have
Perfect.
any other
Thank you.
questions, Lison?
No. No.
Bon, bah, cool, perfect.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture
Cool.
it.
There's still a few things. It's still a little bit too abrupt here, a tiny bit too abrupt. I think maybe a small RX on the head to keep adding a little bit of life.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
In there,
Well, the man. Well, the man. Well, the man. Well, the man.
well, the man. There's something about the face that we need to amp up a little bit. I know you haven't worked on the face, but it's going to be mainly on the like, well, the man, where the eyes can come up and excited, like, but a little bit more chill before that, where we stay a little more like, well, the man, into a half-lidded, then to burst
The man
into
Okay.
man, just so it's a bit clearer and more
Mm.
push the difference.
watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it.
Then here I'm missing a bit of excitement in this part. I wonder how he'll do it. And I think it has to do with the breathing that she does and the little bit of emotion she puts into. So
I wonder how he'll. I wonder how he'll. I wonder how. I wonder how. I wonder how.
and I think it's just that I wonder how. I wonder how. I wonder how. How can you do something with the head or something like that to emphasize the amount of intonations and speed that there is in the voice right now?
How he'll do it.
Mhm.
Maybe a pillow to the face. A pillow, a pillow, a pillow.
And same here, a pillow, a pillow, a pillow, maybe a pillow, something
Mm.
there to accent on this, on the pillow. So to me, it would be here on the pillow.
I wonder how he'll. I wonder how.
I wonder how, and I think
It.
a tiny bit here,
Picture what?
Well, the man
then the expression.
watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how.
It's
I
really,
wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
yeah, there. Wonder how to do it.
Maybe
That's cool.
a pillow to the face.
Pillow is a little,
A pillow to the face.
his face is good.
Maybe something
That's
clever.
really nice.
Like an air bubble in the IV.
And I think to
An
me,
air bubble in the IV.
on there, you can be like an amp up on the IV. You can
Yeah,
go
I didn't
forward.
work on this part
To
for
come
now.
forward. But yeah, it's like
Mm.
RX, like an amp up
Mm.
on the IV, and coming there and like intrigued, excited, coming forward in there. Voilà. To me,
Okay.
those are the moments that right now are still
Mm.
feeling a little bit dead, but nice work. Alors, let's go about it quickly just to check what we can do. Let's do this one. This one is painful, huh? Alors, up, up.
Picture it. Picture it.
Cool. First, I want to check the body, RZ.
Picture it.
Let me check on your RZ there. It goes and it comes back. Yeah, maybe it's not enough. Cool. I feel in there too. Yeah. To me here, it should keep on going that way. Then bounce back maybe somewhere there. Let me check if that. Voilà.
Okay.
You see, so it's still there, but it's
Mm.
not as much stopped.
Mhm.
And I play with this to kind of make it feel within. Let's go with the head just to see if we can have a tiny bit of the RX in there. Yeah. So here it's good. You go like that, and then here it should keep on going up, I think, into this kind of. And I feel the RZ there. This I don't think is helping. So it's by going slightly more this way. You're like, okay, but why, Alexi? It's just the way it is here. Lison, I'm sorry. Wow, well, you see, it feels static, but it feels alive. And
Yeah.
finishing kind of the movement. Okay. Yeah. Wow, small. Okay, cool. And okay, let's keep it like that for now. Let's keep going.
Picture what?
So there, what I would do, I would really just keep these guys a lot longer, kind of down.
Well, the man. Well, the man. Well, the man.
See what I
Well,
mean?
the man.
That, and you can even go in the M in there to a little bit of compression.
Okay.
Well, the man. 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 Well, the man.
That makes sense? And even in there, I would push still more of this.
Okay.
One.
Well, the man.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Watching your son.
Cool.
Maybe. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder.
I think just a little shake in the RY axis could be enough.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
Okay, up. Here I go with the smooth. That's the smooth. So smooth is a bit of what I just did.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
Wow, but you see it
I
kind
wonder
of
how he'll
links
do it.
without necessarily having.
I
Okay.
wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
Maybe the RZ here is a bit too much there. I feel like she's a little bit to the side there listening and stuff.
I wonder how he'll do it.
After it's good. When we get to there, then yes. It can have a bit of that.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
And I feel like the RZ of the neck is kind of going to the side there, and I'm not too sure. Maybe a little bit big.
Do it. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
Maybe a bit.
I wonder how he'll
Here
do
it was
it.
a bit big.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
And
I wonder how.
the how, I think, could have a little bit more accent in your head. So it's there, ha. Like that we can have that a little bit of the up. Then we'll go back down for the he'll do it. maybe on there it could go back up. Let's see if it's too much.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
Yeah, it's because here it comes back down. Maybe if she keeps on going up into this kind of, she enjoys, or she like, I wonder,
I wonder how he'll do it. 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 I wonder how he'll do it.
And maybe
Do it.
maybe here the RZ of the head should keep going like that, more in this kind of, maybe I wonder, and like kind of like
Yeah.
thinking there.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
But voilà, now you have a little bit of the connection
Mm.
with the
Okay.
dialogue.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Picture it.
Maybe it's a bit too much, the RX and RZ, but you can reduce very, with
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
where is it that I put the,
The man watching your son. I wonder how he'll.
yeah, I think it's this. If I go less with that and that, but it has a little bit of that.
I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
And then reducing slightly of
Mm.
this.
I wonder how he'll do it.
Voilà.
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Picture watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it.
I feel the E needs a up, a bit sharper.
How he'll do it. How he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it. Picture it.
Picture what?
He'll do it.
Yeah.
Picture it.
Cool. And then
Watching your son. I wonder
we'll do it.
how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the pillow.
So there you definitely want to have some types of head stuff too. So, so you go like,
Pillow.
oh. I think there it could be a nice round kind of arc. And then RY is going to be needed in there. So the RY in there could be going from there, going one side, and then going to there. Then maybe coming a little bit back to there. And if I think of the RZ with it,
A pillow to the face.
it's a bit big, but
A pillow to the face. A pillow to the face.
we can reduce it.
A pillow to the face.
Voilà. You see what I mean? A little bit of arc in there.
Do it.
Okay.
Maybe a pillow to the face.
See, it's small, but it had some life instead of being completely locked.
Maybe something clever.
Voilà, Lison.
Okay. Thank you.
Lip sync, expressions, pushing differences in there, I think is the next step for next week. And also maybe the reference for the next assignment if you want. I know we're coming close to the end, but I feel like it's going to be pretty fast when you finish. Let's take it out.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Or the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Or the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Cool, Lison. Very cool.
Picture what?
Or the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy. Picture it.
Picture what?
Or the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
Cool, but it's very nice. I don't have much. I have facial stuff that I would like to push. I have a small part
How he'll do it.
somewhere here where maybe we can add a tiny bit more organicness to the body that feels a little stiff. And I want to check on a few things towards the end, but overall, I don't have. I think it's really cool.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Or the man. Picture it.
Picture what? Picture what? Picture what?
I would say here, I have a little bit too much of a feeling of like no more movement, but the shoulder and kind of the head within, so it feels like it's kind of going within, but it doesn't have the general movement. So I would add a tiny bit of body to link in there. And then it's here. I think it's from 154 to there, where I would go a little bit down in the arc of the body, a little bit of before she comes back up. And when she comes back up, maybe come a little bit more and come down in this kind of flow of like I go, I come back into this. It can be very slow and elegant in some way, but I think between this, where you just don't anticipate and don't recoil, you could have a nice flow to it, and then you keep the rest the same. And I think it's gonna make the little things that feels a little dead in there. I was also thinking of the how much your arm is turning here and how this doesn't get affected. Usually I like when I do that to get, a little bit of movement here too.
Yeah.
So I would say is the up and down and the RY of the chest in here. And what you can do is go and come back a little bit in there, as she grabs the knife to
Okay.
kind of make this more organic in there. You can see how it feels a little bit like everything stops, then just shoulders and arms. And in those moments where it's a bit disconnected and there is not is where it starts to break a tiny bit from the real nice flow and polish of the rest. And this to me is cool. Actually, here I don't think, I was thinking like it could be good to have as a same thing as this arm goes to have a little bit of that, opening like tack. Same thing, you go, and when you do that, hop, you have your chest that comes back when you grab the knife, so like that you connect. And same in here, I would say when this goes, have it go a little bit in to then open up to then come back. So you create those small arcs in there.
Yeah,
This
okay.
here doesn't need anything. I feel like here you have a lot of nice connection, a lot of little subtle movement, from here on. It feels really like things connected and organic and stuff in there.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Mm.
Well, so one part here, I don't need it. Here a bit, two parts. Here I don't need it, but the Y is cool. And then here a little bit, and then that's cool.
And don't you think the right arm end is not too floaty sometimes?
Alors, this one?
No, the other one. Here.
Ouais, here, yeah.
And just after.
Ouais, but it's like you want to go like, you go a bit faster in the hand, you come back. Whenever it's too floaty like this, think of like accentuating and coming back. Like that you sharpen things pretty easy without having to do too much.
Okay.
And stay, when you're there, you go, you come back, and then you go to the next one, and you can even go like a little antique before. I mean, same thing as the rest, but just on the arms and finger as playing it in this way.
Okay.
There and no, the rest is yes, here I would say from there what I would do is I would play like a little bit of a feeling of her reaching the chair and opening slightly the fingers or something like that you could check this, so it makes sense because right now it just goes
Yeah.
so it goes slightly out that you open the fingers as well a little bit that they come more straight, in this kind of thing.
Okay.
To that. So after, I would like to try to see how we can push a bit of the expressions, and I really like it when she gets in there. This, it starts to feel like extreme and cool. I think in these, what man? There needs to be something a bit more creepy
Okay.
about it. I think, we have it here. But we have it here too. I think this is okay. I would maybe do a tiny bit more of this, together in there. Maybe it could be just this. Let me check. Yeah, I think even just having them slightly bit longer, slightly bit more angry. See what I mean? A little bit, but
Yeah. Okay.
no, so she doesn't break too much and she doesn't become this too nice person in these. I think it's cool now that it raises, but it's just keeping.
Yeah.
Ouais. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Alors, for the lip sync. And don't hesitate to even add a tiny bit more white above,
Okay.
I think. Like that she will get more into these kind of realms. Okay.
Okay.
Not too much. Huh? I think here it's cool that she enjoys it. All this is good. Then she goes back to this, to this, to this. All this to me is good. It's just in there at the beginning. I feel like she stays a little bit like, no. Well, this, At some point she needs to get back a tiny bit of that. Let me check on the lip sync now.
Right.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son.
Yeah, so there's a lot of work on the lip sync. Okay. Here I would go even like a little sneer, for example, push the teeth together, the jaw really close, getting these that gets there, and like, so you get, like your son. And then to the to the smile a little bit, and then going back to neutral, but it could be like, like sun, and then to this. So you play small little micro expression that bring this kind of creepiness to it. And that's okay.
Wonder how he'll do it.
Wonder around. I think on the around, it shouldn't go. It's too big. I think it's, I wonder how. Wonder. There's the of the wonder that should be really pinched. Then you can go to the ow, but I think it's missing the R.
How he'll do it.
And the it. Do it. So it go E, the t, open.
Okay.
Do it.
So it's like, do it. You need to have that.
Maybe.
And I would stay a little longer in something like this. How do it. Maybe, and maybe not closing the mouse like this in the middle. Then you go to this shape here. But she like do it. Like keeping it open in this kind of a pleasure types mouse.
Maybe a pillow to the.
I don't know, maybe. To me, if you go that fast and then it stops, it's having problems. So it should go like a bit softer. You see it like it recalls right away. I think what you want is it keeps on going in this way, kind of up, and not having the mouse that goes both like this and does that. I think it's better if you go up.
Okay.
To the face. A pillow to the.
Here the F, you want to really emphasize like to the. So this should be going inside the teeth for 2 frames or so, and then go fa like you have there, and then face. You keep the teeth closed in this kind of this for longer, and it's like.
Okay.
So it's like keeping that closed mouse S.
Maybe something clever.
And I think on the clever, you want to keep going open and close so it's soft and kind of like, almost like she tails it with it needs to be a little bit sensual, a little bit more because here it just stops, the jaw.
Yeah.
It doesn't have this kind of soft opening and closing back. It was a little bit of like so it can go coming wide and then going back to tight with the lip, the jaw that comes back down.
Like an air bubble in the ivy. Like an air bubble.
La. So it needs a la, an opening.
Okay.
Like an air bubble in the ivy.
And on the I, same. Oh, you have it. Yeah, you're missing the I've. So here you should see some T's. Then this.
Okay.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
Here the M should be stay close 2 frames at least and really, well, the ma, like a bit more pushed. Voilà.
Okay.
OK.
Nickel.
Cool. Eh ben, merci, Lison. Est-ce que tu as des questions là-dessus? Do you have any questions on this?
No, I think it's good for this one.
Ouais, let's go for the reference.
Yes. So for the context, I'm looking at a dead body.
Okay.
Just for the context.
I think you have the wrong. I think you have the wrong guy. 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 I think you have the wrong guy.
Je suis pas sûr, Lison. How can I say this? First thing that to me what bothers me in general is when you have the audio that just feels like it starts in the middle of the scene. You know, when you have nothing, you have a character there, and then you have an audio. You're gonna see the reel like one time most of the time. You know, it's not like it's good. They're gonna play it again just to check if this was good or not. And so I think it brings a level of like things to have to understand while you watch the reel that maybe is unnecessary because I think there's other audios where maybe you have a similar feeling or similar things. I like the intent, I like the this thing, but right now the fact that it starts in the middle, I think is gonna jump at people and be like, is it her talking? Was it? I don't understand why I wasn't hearing the sound before, and now all of a sudden it starts. That's the
Okay.
first thing. And the second thing I would say is I think it's a bit it's not by overacted, it's just overplaying the comedy aspect of the context and the intent and all this. I like the idea. I think it's cool, but maybe it doesn't need the I I think you got the wrong guy. You know, it's like it's a little long, and I think it could be just like, you know, like you're here, you look, you're like, I think you got the wrong guy, and that's it. But then I'm like, is that enough of an acting shot compared to what you just did right now? This like long acting was like, I feel is not up to par. So I would say, I think you have the abilities to finish these shots without necessarily my help as much as what you think you need. So
Okay.
my what I'm saying is like maybe you can do a longer shot or a shot that is a bit bigger or a bit more of this so that you don't restrict yourself just so that we have enough time before we finish the class to see the poses and stuff. Okay. I think it would be better to when I think of another nice piece like you just did, maybe with a even a few movements in the body. I'm not sure about this because obviously mechanics can be hard, but even if you keep in the same realm but having something comical, I think it would be cool, but maybe a little bit, well, the same length as what you have is cool, but the audio like this, I think won't work.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna
voilà.
put myself.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
Merci, Lison. Thank you very much. Alors, um, and you can also use one of the new characters, maybe. I don't know if you have the.
I don't have them.
Okay, okay. Just check it out.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
Yep.
Like an air bubble in the ivy.
Dis-moi, disons, t'as peur de changer tes plans ou quoi?
Picture what?
Well, the man watching.
C'est toujours pas assez.
Ouais. I feel that.
Okay.
Cool stuff. Very, very nice. Overall, I think from yesterday notes, I feel like there's still moments where your head moves on its own and it's lacking neck connection in these parts. Um, I I think the body is better, but I'm still feeling it's a little restricted. Um,
Okay.
I understand you don't want necessarily to to make it move too much, but I again I feel like to me you're nailing it in here. in
Mm.
here, in here. I don't know if you see the movement that you have in there, but it feels kind of round. It feels kind of soft. It feels like it's connected. It feels like it has these kind of things. And I still feel like in these areas there, it doesn't have that,
Mm.
you see? Well,
Okay.
I feel there is still a little bit of what you do, even when you're in the pose here at the end, you know, you see that little bit of up, down, and stuff is important, and it's well, I feel you're a little afraid of going further. Maybe because of the first week where it was feeling like this, but I think it's just about the body and not necessarily the head or any of these anymore, and it's getting a bit of fluidity within what you have right now.
Okay. Euh,
What was you saying, Lison?
Rien. Rien,
Okay.
je dis OK.
All right, let's go about the hand and the knife. So, head and neck and the body for now, okay, in the
Mm.
general type of thing. I feel in this, on this hand, I would go more like this and less like open and this. It feels like I'm missing a bit of the opening on this hand because it already opens towards there instead of anticipating inside before going out.
OK.
So I think in from where it is here to that, it should be angled more, you know,
Mm.
towards the inside like this, and then you kind of go out with the movement. And I think as you go out with the movement, you can maybe create a little bit of the arc as well on this hand to kind of flourish the movement there slightly.
OK.
I'm tempted here too, you know, as you do this, to have the wrist just to kind of link with the fingers to avoid having just fingers doing this,
Mm.
to get a bit of motion from the wrist into it too. Where right now I feel like the wrist is not coming up at all. You see, as I think as
Mm.
it closes and stuff, it can get a little bit of in and then going out into the release.
OK.
And when you go out into the release, I think same thing. You can do a bit of like RY or something like that, you know, like purr,
Mm.
purr. It's like it's I think she plays with these and you know it could have a bit of hands and gestures in there to make
Mm.
her same thing, a bit more feminine, a bit more pushed in this sense there. Okay.
OK.
Okay. Then if we go from here to here, I think there is something to play there to make this in between a little bit um, more interesting. I'm trying to find some words, but to me, I feel like if I think of the knife and the hand with the knife, this is cool, this is nice, this too. Maybe as it comes there, I would maybe go with the tip of the knife coming a little bit more down. So she is there and she goes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it creates a tiny bit of, instead of this, it goes, you see, so it creates an arc
Mm.
in that, in the coming back of the knife from there to there, which will be somewhere in here. So your hand will be more straight this way and the knife will be more towards there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Then you go back to here. And so with the other hand, maybe you can do something too, you know, where they both create a tiny bit of an arc to get to this. Okay. Just so it's not
Mm.
a
Mm.
bit like this. Okay.
OK.
Then, if I'm honest, I feel like this pose is not really working from this hand. It feels a little bit like it's this is like that, and then this one is here
Mm.
planted instead of maybe being more around and showing less of the knife. So I would rotate it this way so that we see maybe the fingers like these more, you see, and it's above again from there
Okay.
to something more
Mm.
around it. and there. Does that make sense? Because my drawings are
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
crappy.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right, let's keep going. So I think then here the pose will be better. Then you can go to this. That's cool. I'm not sure about this. I think to me in here the problem is this angle. I think it's just that I'm reacting to.
Mm.
I think if you had the arm coming down more this way with the sweater a tiny bit more like this and the hand more up there, it would make it feel less twisted and maybe
Mm.
it will work okay. Okay.
Okay.
I think when I'm here, I feel it's okay, for example.
Mm.
This. Cool. The rest is good in the hands. All right, let's see the face and lip sync.
Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it. Picture it.
I think in picture it, you can do a kind of a double thing in the brow, like picture it, picture it. You know, it has like picture
Mm.
it, a little bit of like, I think the curve could be, if it's the TY of the brow, could be up, up like this, or even just like that. But that's going to feel as a, you know, a little bit of an acceleration, second acceleration on the
Mm.
picture it.
Picture what?
And
Right. Right.
I would say they picture it. Yeah, maybe it's okay. It's okay.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Well, the man.
I think in there you want to go man, man. So you want to close the NDT with like man, with
Okay.
the this
Mm.
and showing the teeth and then reopening it.
Watching your son. Watching your son.
I feel the wah is not enough ooh. I would love more ooh in the wah for
Okay.
the watching your son.
I wonder how he'll do it.
So here it's a I woo, woo. So it's I ooh. Right now I can see ooh. But I don't
Mm.
see the E in between. So it's E is a wide mouth, almost closed jaw with a lot of teeth.
Yeah. Okay.
So here's one. So it goes open and then it's NDT again. One. So you want to go back to close and then going into the R. So it's one. One. So here it should be closed. Then it's
Okay.
And here, same thing. Do it. You want to close and then have the open when you hear the sound of this. If not, it won't work. This thing with the teeth you're doing, I understand it, but the lip sync comes first, much before
Mm.
even the intentions of like these kind of things. And I think here you're missing the do it. And it's actually this thing of like the pleasure comes from the relaxation coming after of the open of the jaw after the NDT and the breathing.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
And here you're doing do it instead of do it. I think to me it's more this that I would play as my secondary action. I understand what you're trying to do with the face, but I feel you're going against what the actually audio and breathing is telling you in there.
Okay.
Maybe a pillow to the face. maybe.
Say maybe. So there's a E. So all these shapes, you have to put them and push them a bit. If not, it's gonna feel like underplayed your lip sync right now. Okay. Then there is the NDT here. A pillow to to the face. A pillow to the face. Okay, so here it is a NDT. And it's more than pe, is pe. There's an open in the jaw in there, which you're not doing is face. So it's open and then close on the S. And right now the open feels more like a lip opening than a jaw for fe. Here you're still in the M at 324. And you can zip. You can start opening the jaw. Meh, meh. So you go meh, but you still keep the M close. And there is E, then is B, then is E. And here is not something, is something. Thing. So it needs the TH of the tongue and not the F. And here you should go clever. Go in the R. So you go smaller. This you close, jaw forward, lips in, as I showed today on the Apollo. And then you go to your smile after.
Okay.
So like that you have a bit of fleshiness in
Bubble
there.
in the ivy.
Cool?
Cool.
Voilà. You have questions on any of this stuff from today?
No.
I want to
think-
try to show you the head neck thing, how much, and then the rest I will leave you with it. Alors. For the body as well, but I don't know if I'll have time. So let me still get this antique that I'm not getting enough. Yeah.
How similar is that review to something you would do at Fortiche?
Yeah, it's very similar. Usually I wouldn't go in the shot. I would just tell them the things that we just discussed right now, and then they would go back to their workstation and try to work on those. Sometimes I open the shot, but it's mainly when I've mentioned it a couple of times and that it's not getting there, and to avoid the animator to just struggle, etc. I go in there at some point in case to help it out. Here I'm going to check my body and my chest RX, and I can see that my chest is going to lead and the body will follow there. And so this will give, I think, the feeling of then the chest leading and then the body to go. And even if there the body keeps on going this way, my chest will come back and compensate. Okay, so obviously this wouldn't come to there and this wouldn't maybe do this. It would just stay. Let's say something like this. But like this, you should have a better feeling of things not necessarily being too stiff. As well, let's check. think here, this is going a bit fast, the body. Same in here, like that my body maintains. Up. I'm trying, you see, to just check a little bit on the spacing of things just to make sure that it's not too abrupt. Let's see how that feels. Well, sorry, after it should stop. Right now we're keeping on going, but it shouldn't do this. So let's see if we keep that simply, and this simply. Normally it should just keep it the same, then going into back to somewhere there. And there, even thereafter, I would say, yes, this would come back like this, and this would compensate a little bit. You see what I mean, Lison?
Mm.
And let's see how it feels in here. You can see already it has more of that thing that I'm talking about. So don't hesitate to adjust a little bit of both RY like this in there. In terms of your head, whenever your head does something like this, I'm expecting the RZ to my neck to kind of get affected by it a little more. So I think as you do this, you should have a little bit of that going with it as well to kind of make it feel connected. That's what I was talking about, in there yesterday in the sync sketch or in the video. So here you can see how this needs to come back to there too, because the head is in this kind of angle there. Then here is good. On this one, I think it would go even a bit more. And I would say that here it can still remain in somewhat here. Blah!
Ah ouais.
Well, you see what I mean? It needs to move with it. It's
Okay.
very important to avoid that feeling that you had to me a little bit too much, where it feels like just the head is moving on this that doesn't get affected by it. I wanted to check on your RX. Yeah, I feel in here your RX it's missing the up. I think here she is in her thought process in this moment. And so I feel like it should stay up, this kind of thing, you know, where she's like, you know. I feel like by going back down, it was not. I don't know.
Okay.
And so now that you see this movement there, you can see how you can influence, for example, a tiny bit of the chest or even a tiny bit of the body to link with that movement. Where right now, I feel like this maybe is a bit timid. And even in there, it feels like it's, to me, a little bit like stiff and it doesn't move anymore. So I want to check. Yeah, to me, I feel like you see your RZ in these. And even when you go to there, could have a little more impact just as the neck too.
Do you think some of this movement would be restricted by the chair? And if so,
No,
would you animate the chair
no,
to
I would have the chair here, but I don't have it because he's only that. But I think no matter if you have a chair or not, I think you can still get quite a bit of movement from that. So it wouldn't for sure go in it, but I would still feel like even with a desk, it would have, you know, a bit of this movement in there. To me right now, just by doing this, it helps in creating this kind of movement instead of having it just in the head, um, as it was.
Picture it.
There. And so to me, I have a feeling like the body and stuff, you know, was not involved in it. And I think even in there, actually, I would, as she gets into this, I would keep on going a little bit this way as a small antic before she goes to the opposite side there. But I think there is still something about maybe having a tiny bit of that movement prior somewhere there.
So my question is, if you felt like it needed the movement and it was intersecting the chair, would you just go ahead and animate the back of the chair so that it?
No, but I might reduce, for example, the TX in here instead, you know, and it's, I think the intersection will come from here, but not necessarily from the RZ. Voila. Like I think right now, if I think of this, I don't think it would intersect with the chair necessarily, but it still has the movement that I added in there in terms of side to side in screen and linking with the RZ of the neck instead of the back and forwards that much. But yes, and if then it doesn't work, then yes, you can animate a bit of the back of the chair. But I think the chair here was very solid in Lison's shot. Cool, Lison.
Yep.
All right.
Next.
Let's check the sound on this.
Talking metal on the side. Oh, it's treatment. It's fucking shy.
Man, I don't understand anything. Okay, let's see if Tim
Ah ouais.
understand. Tim, tell me what she's swearing, so or you even Andrew, just listen to it. Let me know if you guys understand me. I don't understand, but
Talking metal on the side. Oh, it's treatment. It's fucking shy. Do whatever I want. Talking metal on the side. Oh, it's treatment. It's fucking shy.
alors.
Yeah.
Something about Madeline and treating her something. Put it into Chat GPT or something and have it do a subtitle.
Always treating me like a effing child.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, what was it?
I missed the first part. Like, was it Madeline's?
In the oven, she said.
So why
All
ask
of them.
us and not Lison?
Because she knows.
Oh,
It's her dialogue. Yeah.
so you want to see if other people can understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe she can put subtitles on it.
No, but to me it's impossible like to understand, I think.
Okay.
What was she saying exactly, Lison, again?
Don't put metal in the science oven. You always speak to me like I'm a fucking child. I'll do whatever I want.
Voilà. Let's take a look.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
All right, cool. So what I was saying was
Picture it.
the first thing was the mouse
Picture it.
feels in this part feels like it's a little dead. So I would open like, but I would close it maybe sooner
Okay.
and don't leave it as much open and maybe not even see the bottom teeth. You know, right
Okay.
now I think it's because we see a tiny bit of that as well. It's a bit
Picture what?
Well, the man.
and I think so in there I would love to get a tiny bit closer, you know, of this expression and of this way of reacting. Okay, so bring your ref back and readjust a little bit of your curves, a little bit of these things. Sorry,
Okay.
it's part of the
Watching your
process.
son. I wonder how he'll do it.
And
I wonder how.
I think when she goes, I wonder, I'm feeling like it needs to go already
How he'll do it.
in something like this, you know, I wonder how he'll do it. I
Mm.
wonder how he'll do it. And staying in this kind of thing, or right now I feel it's still not quite there. This is good,
I wonder how
but
he'll do it. How he'll do it. Wonder how he'll do. Wonder how he'll do. Wonder how he'll do
here I don't have that feeling of her looking to the side like I have after here too.
it.
Okay.
I feel the RZ here coming back and doing this is not needed.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe it's the anticipation for the maybe, but I think it's not needed there.
a pillow to the face.
And I think on face, pillow to the face, I would do a tiny bit of an antic and a sharper coming there, just so it snaps it up a little bit. And the last thing is at the
Like an
end,
air bubble in the ivy.
removing the V of the ivy. Okay.
Okay.
I want to just do the head on the. I don't know.
Picture it.
Let me see just for that first.
Picture it.
Yeah, this is mainly that thing here. And I think in there you want to go back up more. I don't know. You see what I mean? So you stay in this kind of close, a bit more happy type stuff there.
Picture it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture it. Picture it.
It shouldn't do this though. This here. I went a little too soon in the TY. of this. Is this the TY? Yes.
Right.
Picture what?
Well, the man.
So I think for there, in terms of expression, I mean, I'll let you deal with it, but I would try. Let's go. I need to push this. You see what I mean?
Ouais, ok.
Like that, and maybe a tiny bit of the craziness in there, slightly
Mm.
that. And there is about the motion. So the motion, I will let you deal with it, but I think is the fact that this goes too far forward. Let's see if we go on the opposite side, actually.
Watching your son.
Yeah,
Watching your son.
Mm.
and it has
Okay.
the RZ as well that is going there. I feel like it should keep that, yeah.
Watching your son.
You see what I mean? And you have all the
Mm,
rest,
mm,
so now it feels animated. It doesn't need necessarily that extra movement there.
Watching your
Okay.
son. I wonder.
All right, let's go for this. Yeah, so it's here. So here you go and you stop. Me, I would just go directly. Maybe we did that last week, but to me, it doesn't work quite. Yeah.
I wonder how he'll do it.
Like
Mm.
that, you're
Wonder how
already
he'll do it.
in that pose. So after there is other stuff, obviously, that you want to get a bit rid of. So I think it's here. Maybe it's a tiny bit, yeah, too much. And maybe the neck in RZ is slightly too far. So yeah, this one is not needed.
I wonder how he'll do it.
Yeah.
I wonder
Okay.
how he'll do it.
But you see, like that, you
I
stay
wonder
in
how
this
he'll
kind
do
of.
it.
Mm.
Maybe a pillow to the face.
Let's go for this. Let's go for this crazy one. So here I would do 1, 2 sooner. 1, 2 sooner. 1, 2, 3 tack, and then recoil sharper, staying, and coming back, I think.
Pillow to the face. Pillow to the face. Pillow to.
Mm.
I think this is not enough. Even there.
A pillow to the face.
And even this is still too slow. So let's go tack, tack.
A pillow to the face. Pillow
Okay.
to the face.
Yeah, and now it's a bit big. Oh,
Pillow to the face.
yeah,
Pillow to the face.
Okay.
Maybe something clever.
voilà. Okay, Lison.
Yep, yep, yep.
Cool. Let me check on the hands.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Well, the man.
Hey, oh, you don't cut the fingers like this, huh?
Yep. Ouais.
Yeah.
Mm.
But here I would make it simpler. I would not necessarily turn the knife
Picture what?
Well, the man.
right there, you know,
Mm.
or make it in the
Yeah.
in the
Okay,
motion
okay.
so we see it less.
Man, watching your son. I wonder how he'll do it. I wonder how he'll do it.
This, to me, I think when you're here, from
I
there,
wonder how he'll do it.
you shouldn't be in this pose so long.
Well, I don't know.
Like, I think if you're here, that's cool. If you're here, that's cool. But this whole part where you go down and over, it's kind of making it too complicated. Just go on top and on it and stay there.
Okay.
Cool. The rest is nice. Here, I would love a little flourish in the fingers just so that
Okay.
they have life towards the end
Mm.
there. I think the brows there, they come down a little too much. You know, it makes it a little, I think this is nice, and here is like, it almost hurts or something like this. So I would reduce the kind of
Okay.
mask thing. I think it's nicer when she's here or when she's there. I think between 23 and 72 is a bit too low. Okay?
Okay.
Voilà, Lison.
And for the lip sync, it's
Ouais, it's
better.
good. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Picture it.
Picture what?
Well, the man, watching your son.
Yeah.
I wonder how he'll do it. Maybe a pillow to the face. Maybe something clever.
Here you already should be open clever. Should
Okay.
open fast and we need to see it.
Clever. Like an air bubble in the ivy.
It's like it feels like it's late, very late.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Picture.
Watching your son.
Picture what?
Well, the man. Well, the man.
The N here you want to close. You want to go man.
Mm.
You know, I think it's like the N closed and then reopen in here. Right now,
Man.
if not, we don't have the feeling of men.
Mm.
You see, I go nen. I don't know if you see, but it's like it needs a bit of close open in that N.
Okay.
Watching your
Okay,
son.
okay.
Cool.
Okay, merci.
Merci. And I might give you other notes down the line as we refine those things. I might start to see other things or this or that. So okay, but don't hesitate to
Okay.
send me more in the coming weeks and send me the other shots as well. Okay, and
Yeah.
Sync Sketch,
Yeah.
so I give you
Okay.
some feedback.
Thank
Awesome.